What is going on, everybody? We have another battery for you. This is the Siekon 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. This is their classic version. They have like a group 24 size. This is the group 31 classic battery. So it's your basic lithium iron phosphate 100 amp hour battery. It weighs about 22 pounds, so it's super light. And so when you're comparing it to like a lead acid battery, your lead acid battery is going to be about 50 pounds. This guy's about half the weight of that and also double the capacity. So a lead acid group 31 size battery is going to give you about 50 amp hours, 55 amp hours of effective capacity. This guy is rated for a full 1C, or one capacity of 100 amp hours, which is pretty nice for the weight savings as well. So not only do you get the weight savings out of a lithium iron phosphate battery, but you also get awesome cycle life. These things are rated for thousands of cycles, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 cycles, depending on the depth of discharge. And you have a lead acid battery, maybe you get 250, 500 cycles at the very most. So you get a lot of cycles out of a battery just like this. When it comes to the battery management system, this particular one has the basic functions. It has overcurrent protection, it has short circuit protection, it has over voltage and under voltage. Now, when it comes to protection, we did do a new test, and that new test was looking at a couple different things. The first one is we did our basic, overall capacity test on the battery. Fully discharge it, fully charge it, and we did a 10 amp load on it, and it did well with that, 108 amp hours out of the battery. So 8% more than what you paid for, you're getting that full 100 amp hours out of it. Where we ran into a little bit of trouble is with doing a 100 amp pull on it. And so what we did is we set up our inverter and a heat gun and a variable load, and we ramped up to, I think, 112. Let's go ahead and get to that video. We have a new test, and what we're going to do is run our inverter here. It's only 1,000 watt, but it'll overclock just a little bit. We're going to run our inverter, a variable load on our heat gun, and we're going to check and see if this thing kicks out at 100 amp hours like it's supposed to. We're going to go ahead and start to load it up. I'm going to sneak up on it here. Let it get there. So that pegged out my inverter at 113. So I'm not seeing the 1C discharge rate really kicking in. Let's see if we can hold it there. I'm holding it at 110, 113. I'm not seeing the 1C discharge rate really kicking in as I expected it to. I expected it to drop out after about 5 seconds. Alright, we're going to leave it at that. We're getting some heat off our battery terminals here. Okay, so maybe not quite ideal. Now I did go ahead and test another battery since I'm just getting started doing the whole inverter 100 amp test. So we tested another battery. Since this is a new test for us, we're going to try it with another battery just for comparison's sake. See if it kicks out at 100 amp hours. So let's go ahead and ramp it up. There it goes, it kicked out. So that battery right there kicked out after a few seconds. Interesting. Okay, so you can see kind of what it should do. It should hold a 1C discharge rate. Should have a surge capacity of more than 100 for typically 5 seconds or so. You can see that orange battery kicked out after a few seconds and shut itself down and said, I'm pulling too much. Try again, something's not right. This one kept pulling, so 112, 113. I'm pegging out my inverter. Maybe it's time for a 2,000 watt because I'd be curious to see just how high it would go before giving any issues, but it should have kicked out. So not sure what's going on with that. Is what it is. That's why we do some tests on it. Be interesting to see how future batteries do in that test as well. But, it is rated for a 1C discharge rate. So if you're pulling that, up to that amount, it will certainly do it. I can assure you of that. Outside of that, we've done a lot of different battery videos. This one is, run-of-the-mill battery, performed well from a capacity standpoint. I'll have links in the descriptions, just like all our other videos. If you're interested in checking them out, please see the links below. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.